China continues to press for evidence and answers into the disappearance of Malaysia Flight 370. A delegation from China has been sent to Kuala Lumpur, and Chinese Premier Li Keqiang wants Malaysia to include Chinese experts in its investigation. The families, meanwhile, are extremely angry. In a meeting Tuesday with the Malaysian ambassador to China, families became even more enraged, saying the ambassador did not answer their questions. This is CCTV News exclusive video from inside the meeting room. Angry demonstrators have staged protests outside the Malaysian embassy in Beijing. Meanwhile, off Australia's west coast, search efforts began again just a few hours ago. A Chinese jet was the first to take off after a break in the heavy dose of bad weather that suspended the search yesterday. And another development. The Malaysia Transport Minister has released all the information received from the British satellite company Inmarsat. But as CCTV correspondent Rian Maelzer reports, it's unlikely to silence the doubters.
Those demanding more detail on what convinced Malaysian authorities that flight MH370 had crashed into the southern Indian Ocean got what they asked for. Whether they will comprehend much of the British satellite company's findings is another matter.
In recent days, Inmarsat developed a second innovative technique which considers the velocity of the aircraft relative to the satellite. Depending on this relative movement, the frequency received and transmitted will differ from its normal value, in much the same way that the sound of a passing car changes as it approaches the end and passes by. This is called the Doppler effect.
Many accused Malaysia's authorities, previously accused of being too slow to release information, of jumping to conclusions without concrete evidence. But the Transport Minister pointed out that the new evidence was compelling enough for Britain's Air Accident Investigations Bureau to call Malaysia's Prime Minister. The new data has narrowed the search area from 2.24 million square nautical miles to less than 1/5 of that, but still a vast area. Now investigators are working to pinpoint the crash site with more accuracy.
This analysis by Inmarsat forms the basis for further study to attempt to determine the final position of the aircraft. Accordingly, the Malaysian investigation has set up an international working group comprising of agencies with expertise in satellite communication and aircraft performance to take this work forward.
Earlier in the day, Malaysia Airline's CEO and chairman briefed the media. The airline has come under fire for informing some passengers by text message that there was almost no chance their loved ones were still alive. The airline said Australia would not issue visas to the family members to travel there until they had more definitive evidence of the plane's fate, suggesting they too want to see something more concrete than a satellite company's projections. Rian Maelzer, CCTV, Kuala Lumpur.